Imagine this. You're standing at the gate of Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, boarding pass in hand, heart racing with the kind of excitement that only comes from giving the perfect gift. You've spent months planning the ultimate family escape. A week in the Maldives over water villas, turquoise infinity pools, private seaplane transfers, and business class seats so luxurious they feel like flying in a living room. This isn't just a vacation. It's your birthday present to yourself, a holiday surprise for your 7-year-old twin grandchildren. And most importantly, a chance to finally create memories that aren't overshadowed by resentment or obligation. Then your daughter-in-law looks you dead in the eye and says, "We gave your ticket to my mom. The grandkids love her more." The words hit like a slap. The terminal noise fades. Your son, the man you raised, the one whose every failure you've quietly bailed out for 20 years, just nods like it's the most reasonable thing in the world. That was the moment Eulalia Vaughn, 65, retired CFO, decided she was done being the family ATM. Eulalia had built her fortune the hard way. Born in a cramped apartment in Macon, Georgia, she clawed her way through accounting school on scholarships and night shifts at a diner. By 35, she was a senior partner at a mid-tier firm. By 50, she'd launched her own boutique financial consultancy, specializing in turnaround strategies for struggling companies. She married late, had Sterling at 40, and poured every ounce of her success into giving him the advantages she'd never had. Private schools, Ivy League options, startup seed money he never repaid. Sterling's consulting firm was a joke. No clients, no revenue, just a sleek office in Buckhead that Eulalia owned and leased to him at zero rent, plus a Mercedes she titled in her name to protect his credit. Valencia, his wife, spent like the money was endless: designer bags, spa weekends, private tutors for the twins. Eulalia had never said no. She told herself it was love. Deep down, she knew it was guilt, for working too much when Sterling was small, for divorcing his father when he was 12, for being the strong one when everyone else crumbled. But that morning at the airport, something snapped. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She simply smiled. A small, cold smile that made Valencia's smug expression falter. "Enjoy the trip," Eulalia said, pressing the resort vouchers and her boarding pass into Sterling's hand. "The kids deserve paradise." Then she turned and walked away. In the quiet of the airport bar, nursing a black coffee, she dialed her private banker, Mr. Abernathy. "Golden parachute protocol," she said. "Execute now." Abernathy didn't ask questions. He drafted the documents years ago, at her insistence. A series of cascading triggers designed to protect her assets if family ever crossed the line. Within minutes, all supplementary credit cards linked to her accounts dropped to zero limit. The $25,000 resort prepayment was disputed as unauthorized. The charge had been made on her card without final approval. Sterling's business line of credit, guaranteed by her, was frozen. The Mercedes lease was terminated. The car would be repossessed by end of day. The office lease was canceled. Eviction notice would arrive by courier. She sipped her coffee and watched Flight 472 to Male taxi down the runway. Her seat, 14A window extra legroom, was empty now, occupied by Odessa, Valencia's mother, a woman Eulalia had tolerated for years despite the constant passive-aggressive comments about spoiled rich folks. Eulalia felt no rage, only clarity. Meanwhile, 35,000 feet above the Atlantic, Sterling's phone buzzed with a decline charge alert for in-flight champagne. He laughed it off glitch-surely, then another for duty-free perfume. Valencia's smile tightened. By the time they landed in Male, the VIP seaplane transfer was gone. "The booking was under Ms. Vaughn," the agent said politely. "Without her presence, we cannot proceed." They were herded onto a rickety public water taxi that smelled of diesel and fish. The twins, Cairo and Zuri, clung to their mother, confused and cranky. Odessa complained loudly about the heat. At Azure Bay Resort, the overwater villa dream died fast. "Reservation confirmed for Ms. Eulalia Vaughn and party," the manager explained. "Ms. Vaughn is not present, and payment has been reversed. We require full prepayment for alternative accommodations." They had no choice. The only rooms left were standard Garden View units at $3,200 per night, cash or new card. Sterling's Amex, supplementary on Eulalia's account, was useless. Valencia's cards? Declined. Odessa's? She had cash, $4,000 she'd quietly taken from the kids' college fund the night before, claiming it was for emergencies. She paid for one room, then vanished to the bar, leaving the others to sort it out. That night, in a cramped room with flickering fluorescent lights and a ceiling fan that did nothing against the humidity, Valencia screamed at Sterling, "Call your mother." He did. Voicemail. Eulalia was back home by then, repotting her ancient ficus tree in the sunroom of her midtown condo. The phone rang incessantly, Sterling, Valencia, even the twins via FaceTime, their little faces tear-streaked. She let it go to voicemail. 2 days later, she accepted a video call. Sterling looked wrecked. "Mom, please. The kids are miserable. We have no money for food. The hotel is threatening to call the police." Eulalia's voice was calm. "You gave my ticket away. You chose Odessa. Live with it." Valencia pushed into frame. "You're heartless. Those children." "Those children," Eulalia cut in, "whose college fund you raided for Louis Vuitton suitcases. I have the bank statements, Valencia. $4,000. Odessa used it for her flight and spa treatments. She's already gone. Left you stranded with one economy ticket home for herself." Silence. Odessa had indeed abandoned them after the first night, cash in hand, flying back to Atlanta on her own. Sterling and Valencia were left with the twins, a maxed-out emergency credit card, and mounting hotel debt. Publicly, Valencia tried to spin it. She posted a tearful TikTok and YouTube short. "My monster-in-law abandoned us in paradise. Stole our dream vacation." It went viral, outrage clicks, sympathy donations, until Eulalia's attorney released the evidence. Airport security footage of the ticket handoff, bank records of the theft, timestamps of Odessa's solo departure. The narrative flipped overnight. Comment sections turned vicious. Entitled "Much? Grandma did the right thing." Sterling sold his watch collection for plane tickets home. Economy, middle seats, no meals. They landed in Atlanta broke, humiliated, and homeless from the Buckhead apartment, lease in Eulalia's name, terminated. Valencia took a receptionist job at a dental office. Sterling applied for sales positions, real ones, with quotas. The twins started public school. Odessa moved in with a cousin, persona non grata in the family. Eulalia didn't gloat. She sold the Mercedes and the office space, donating half the proceeds to the twins' college funds, in trust, inaccessible until 18. The other half funded her own rebirth. 2 weeks after the airport incident, she boarded a solo flight to Tuscany. No family drama, no expectations. Just rolling vineyards, oil painting classes in a hilltop village, and long dinners with strangers who became friends. She tasted Brunello di Montalcino at sunset, sketched cypress trees at dawn, and for the first time in decades, felt the weight of obligation lift. On her birthday, Sterling sent a message. "Happy birthday, Mom. We miss you. We're sorry." She read it, smiled faintly, and deleted it without reply. Some called her cruel, abandoning grandchildren to teach adults a lesson. Others called her brave, the woman who finally said enough to a lifetime of being used. Eulalia called it freedom. And in the quiet villa overlooking the Chianti Hills, as she raised a glass to herself, she knew one truth above all. Paradise isn't a place. It's the moment you stop carrying people who refuse to walk beside you.